Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this special bulletin. If you are out here using the term gooner, gooner bait, gooning, or any form of the word unironically, then I'm going to question, I'm going to question a few things about you. It's nothing more than a nonsensical word used to insult gamers, insult people, insult fans who like, attractive characters. Specifically, in the case of this video, ladies and gentlemen, attractive female characters in gaming. Because all the insults, all the words, and are just not working anymore, much like the nonsensical insults of being called a racist and istophobe and bigot, misogynist, blah, blah, blah. These words, the tactics that they've been using for years and years and years that used to work are no longer working. And you just make yourself look like a fool. You're engagement farming. You have lost any sort of integrity, but what can you expect from a site like PC Gamer? So be careful using these words. They're meaningless. Sex sells. Sex has always sold, and it always will sell. Attractive characters will sell more regardless of the franchise, the market, or whatever. Attractive characters in marketing will sell far more. They will garner far more attention than pretty much anything else you try to put out there. But hey, let's keep trying to insult your potential customers into purchasing the product, or maybe even not purchasing the product, but I digress. Over here at PC Gamer, we have Joshua Wolens, and it's really important that I mention his name because we're going to see a few articles from him. Over here, Gooner Game of the Year, Stellar Blades mods are 41% smut, pretty much like any other mod for any other video game where you can have a female character or even a male character. Go over to Nexus Mods, depending on the purchaser of that website and what they do with it, but go over there and see what Skyrim's mods are like. Or what else? The Witcher mods. Go, yeah, pretty much any mod over there. You're going to have a high percentage of smut, nudity, naked, all over the place. But you'll also have some pretty interesting mods, like with Stellar Blade. Yes, there is a whole bunch. There's even a pregnant Eve, which, I mean, to each their own, but, yeah, no, thank you. Sorry. You will have all those kinds of mods, and there's nothing wrong with it. But they also have the mods with additional clothing, additional cover-ups for Eve. Much like in Stellar Blade, not all the outfits show off her numerous assets. But the article title, Ensuring Gamers Will Never See the Light of Heaven. Oh my dear. Really? Methinks, based on some of the other articles you've written, Joshua, think you're projecting, but hey, what do I know? It is apparently always possible for there to be less clothing. Well, yeah, I mean, unless you're out in public and it's 110 degrees out here, there's only so many clothes you can take off before you get arrested for indecent exposure. When you purchase through... Oh, I'm not purchasing anything through your link. Stellar Blade finally hit PC 2 days ago, and what happened was exactly what you would expect to happen if you've been playing video games and experiencing mods. We all knew what was going to happen, and boy, oh boy, some of those mods are, well, more ridiculous than others as far as proportions go, but why do gamers do this? They just want something... They want a video game to play with one hand, right? No, they do it because they can, because it's funny, because it's attractive, because men and women like attractive characters, and it's really time to stop denying that, and there's nothing wrong with it. But it's gooning! No, it's not. Stop using that word. Stop acknowledging that word. People like sexy characters. Back to the article. Unfortunately, no one knows what that is. Well, in a video game, there is no such thing as, well... Wait, hold on. I skipped something. My brain malfunctioned. Let's go ahead and restart this. Giving everyone the chance to do whatever it is in this game is actually about. You are a PC... You work for PC Gamer. You wrote an article for PC Gamer, and you don't know what the story's about. Huh. No one knows what that is. Oh, a whole bunch of people know what the story's about. Do you genuinely believe that almost 200,000 people playing at one time, 3 million sales, do you think the only reason they bought the game was to just, rub one out while trying to play this game? Are you that pretentious that you genuinely believe that someone dished out 50, 60, whatever, however many dollars for this game simply to rub one out, tickle the bean, that's what you believe, you might need your head examined. The demo came out for this game. So the marketing for this game, for Stellar Blade, because we're going to talk about this again, the marketing came out and it was jiggle physics all over the place. And it was at a time when potential game customers in the gaming community were being fed one ugly stick after another after another. You had attractive women doing these voices for characters, and yet transitioning them from real life over into the video game, they fell down the ugly tree, hitting every single branch on the way down. Yep, I'm using that analogy, that little colloquialism, whatever you call it. I can't remember. But yes, they were ugly. They were uglified. The jaws, the nose, the forehead, absolutely everything from top to bottom in the face. And gamers were starting to question why. And of course, we were given insults and, oh, you're just misogynist. You don't want to play as a strong female character. And then what's the popularity of Bayonetta and Samus and Metroid? What's the popularity of that? Known among numerous other instances. And then Stellar Blade hit. And you had characters like this. And you had Eve. You're not even going to post a picture of Eve, are you? It's a terrible article. Eve came out and just hit a shock to the system. Everyone thought the game was going to be nothing more than just bouncing all over the place. But then the developer did something rather strange, rather bold, rather confident on their part, and they released the demo. I played it. Lots of people played it. And suddenly, the realization that, wait a minute, this is nice to look at and fun. It has a story. So when the game came out, a lot of people purchased it, checked it out, reviewed it, and it's actually a fun game with decent combat mechanics. Timing is necessary, and the story, which I'm not going to spoil, was interesting to me. Just pay attention to it. You see where everything's going. And the ending was, well, pretty good. Now, was there fan service? Because we should start talking about this and calling it fan service instead of gooning. There's a whole lot of fan service. And if you were joining me on those streams, I showed off the fan service because, hey, it's for the fans. But then I got back to the game, put on Eve's regular outfit instead of her skin suit, which increases the difficulty of the game, and went about my business. So the game took the I guess the gaming community by storm by being attractive and fun. But yet, continuously, we keep getting articles like this over and over. Let's get back here. Well, now that butt is on PC. And you know what that means? Mods. Lots of bouncing bear boobies. And if I were to make a book right now on how many of those mods somehow made Stellar Blade even more not safe for work, but let's not talk about every single other solitary game out there that does the same thing with the mods. Only Stellar Blade. That's the only one that matters. I suspect it wouldn't make very much money. What? Not least because you've probably all read the headline, but intense scientific Oh, you are pretentious twat. Intense scientific calculus counting. Wow. Fully 96 of the 234 mods, 41%, you can do math, look at you, that currently exist for Stellar Blade are marked as adult. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure the game is marked for adults. No, mature. Some of the ones that aren't marked as adult are probably not safe for work. How do you feel about Eve? I heard about this one. They switched her feet for her hands. And again, that's for a rather specific market that, hey, you do you, boo. Same thing with the pregnancy mod. No. But, okay. I don't kink shame. Would you discuss that with your grandparents over Christmas dinner? Oh, hell yeah. I showed my dad. He got a nice little chuckle out of it. The majority are, well, what you expect. Various ways to make Eve and other women in the game various levels of nude. Oh my goodness. Let me clutch my pearls first. Someone did put her in an apron, though, which I suppose leaves something to the imagination. There are also a lot of main menu replacers. Yeah, saw those. Don't go looking for them if you're easily offended, a prude, or just like don't really care for that kind of stuff in your game. It's absolute pornography. It really is. And why would people do that? Because they can. It's the same reason why people made particular things in one of the latest Zelda games. Okay? The ability to make what I can only... I never played the game, so please excuse me. Roast me in the comment section. Please do. Thank you for making it this far. It looked like Plank from Ed, Ed, and Eddie with legs and arms, a face, and some sort of thing in his crotch that shot out fireworks or something else. In a Zelda game on Nintendo. Why on earth would people do such a thing? Because you let them, because they have the ability. Why is it in a video game where there's snow and you leave a path? I actually did this in real life. I couldn't help myself. Why do people walk a penis out, penis shape, out in the snow? Because they can. Because it's funny. Because it entertains us. That's why. We are very simple creatures. Men, mostly. Some women as well, entertained by silly little foolish things like that. It's because we can. I have no issue with what adults do in the privacy of their own home. Then why are you writing this article, Joshua? If you want to turn your copy of any game into an overstimulating carnival of omnipresent erotic delights, you have a thesaurus at handy, don't you? Please do so with my blessings. But I am a tad mystified. I do wonder what kind of lifestyle it is that leads a person to turn to a video game main menu into hardcore pornography. Usually boredom, and they are allowed to do it. At some point, I didn't read this one. This is going to make the next few pictures really interesting. At some point, are you so inured to sexuality that you have to cram it into every available crevice? I see what you did there. To feel anything? Why, Joshua, how can you say such a thing? Because... also with PC Gamer, we have articles like this by Joshua Wolins. Very handsome and beautiful Withers, Baldur's Gate 3 mod. Looking at the mods there. Baldur's Gate 3 didn't really need any mods because you could be naked with a mask. Anyway. Turns your camp's ugly skeleton into a bona fide sex symbol. Joshua, are you trying to tell people something? That, like, skeleton. The skeleton into a set. Sure, okay. Oh, Joshua! Oh, Joshua. Are you telling on yourself? What are we talking about here, Joshua? You wrote this article too, sweetheart. Baldur's Gate 3's bare theme was such an upward turn in momentum. It was upward for somebody. Maybe it was a nice little upward turn for Joshua. Particularly, I'm not saying that on this video. That its animator called his mom to show it off. But what else is PC Gamer? Oh, look, Joshua, you're here again. Find love and abandoned God with this 20,000 fully customizable Baldur's Gate 3 Asterion sexy doll. Joshua, do you need counseling? I'm starting to get concerned. But Joshua isn't the only person talking about the, I guess you would call it the safe sexy. We're going to get to that one. Because over here we got Steven Messner. Seems to be a pattern over on PC Gamer. Every penis in Assassin's Creed Odyssey rated. That's perfectly all right. But heaven forbid we have a sexy, sexy Eve. But let's go show off the penises. Huh. If you've noticed, the world of Inzoi is eerily heterosexual. Don't fret. The distinct lack of gay Zois is a known issue. Why? Why is that an issue? Is it okay for video games? I think I did an article on this one. I did a video on this one because if anything, Inzoi is the game that should have like all anyway. But that's not the point. It's the articles. It's okay to write about this stuff. And here we have the Hades 2 debacle, the kind of hot we need right now. Yes, addressing the game's first lack of body diversity. The first game's lack of body diversity. Hades 2 gods somehow even hotter than Hades gods. Oh boy. Somehow Hades, these are all articles from PC Gamer and Kotaku and Polygon and whatnot. The safe sexy, the okay sexy, but heaven forbid, we are allowed to mod in attractive female characters. Heterosexual attractive female characters. That apparently is verboten because we have to use words like gooner, sell it. Oh, it's a Gunner game. The only reason it was popular is because people want to just fat all night long. There's no denying that Stellar Blade marketing was sex, attractive female characters. However, that is not how a game becomes popular. Go ask First Descendant that, the free-to-play bouncing jiggle physics all over the place, because that is the only way they can market their game. However, based on what I've been seeing, the player count is steadily plummeting. And yet here we have Stellar Blade, Eve, single player game, single price tag, selling 3 million copies, almost 200,000 players on Steam in the middle of a week. It was massively successful on PlayStation 5. It was obviously massively successful. Why? Because sex sells. However, sex does not keep people playing. It does not bring more and more. Once this game released, if Stellar Blade had released and the combat was janky, if the combat was comparable to, oh, I don't know right off the top of my head, Dragon Age the Veilguard. If the character dialogue was, well, let's see, Dragon Age the Veilguard, atrociously written. If the story was nothing to write home about and you are continuously going on the same mission over and over with no actual enjoyable mechanics, no decent gameplay loop, no fishing, how many people would have actually bought it on PC, on Steam? I think that number would have been far lower if the game's story and combat and everything else besides the jiggles, the testicles, chesticles. If all Stellar Blade had going for it was the bouncing bosoms, then I firmly do not believe it would have sold as well as it did. A game needs more than fan service. It needs more than just the sex sells. Sex is good in marketing. Attractive people are good in marketing, but it does not sell a game. And like I said in the beginning, if you are using this lovely term right there, Gunner, unironically, outside of a joke, a meme, or to ridicule someone using it, then I'm going to question, well, I'm going to question a whole lot of things about you, but hey, that's just me. But you let me know what you think about the term, the nonsensical made-up term used nothing more than to insult the potential customers because you just don't like what they like. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Leave a like, leave a dislike, do all the little things that you beg you do, and I hope to see you on the next one.